complex kind of decision making as far as what you're putting in your Doomsday pile, but this seems fairly straightforward, especially considering he made almost the same pile both games. Then again, he's not playing against counterspells.
That's
it
true.
may get a lot more complicated against a blue-based deck.
And I know some older Doomsday decks used to play Shelldock Isle as a way to win.
Yeah.
They would put Shelldock under and do the thing with Ember Cruel.
Yeah, that was another version I've seen, I think.
But
so.
with Wasteland being so prevalent and Night of the Reliquary being so prevalent.
Oh, is that what you wanted, Adrian?
Night of the Reliquary being so prevalent. Adrian Sullivan here to look at the Doomsday deck list.
Yeah.
With Night of the Reliquary being so prevalent in so many Wastelands in the format, it's not reliable.
I assume you're out of the tournament, right, Adrian?
I am.
Okay. I mean, I know you O2'd to start, so.
Yeah.
Did you drop after that? Did you keep going?
I kept playing for some time.
You won round 3 with your bye, right?
3 and 4.
Okay.
So we're going to see, we transferred to another match, and we're going to find out what decks both Scott and Kurt are playing shortly. You can see the question marks there as Dane goes to retrieve the deck list.
Magical mystery deck.
But at the very least, we are in Game 3, so it is going to be more than likely a high-pressure situation.
Yes, much less complex.
People asking about him doing Enlightened Tutor for Choke. I don't think he had a chance to, he had the Hierarch, that was his only white mana, right?
Yep.
And past the turn, it was summoning sick still, right? So then when the turn came back to him, he could have Enlightened Tutor there, but I don't think he had another draw step. He only had one opportunity to use that Hierarch. I'm maybe misremembering it, but
So there was one turn where Hierarch was unsick,
right,
and that was the turn where he died because he could have swords his guy.
right, exactly. That's what I was thinking. So there was no time for him to cast. Oh, I mean, he could have cast it on his upkeep.
You cast it on
That's
your
what
upkeep,
is,
and if he has Choke in his deck, he gets the Choke, plays Choke, and then Steven's mana is kind of stuck, and he has to find an answer to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, so that was a way to do it.
Yeah, so he definitely had some avenues to victory if Choke was in his deck, or avenues to stall the game.
All right, well, it looks like the mystery decks are Rug Delver versus Rug Delver, at least from what I can tell.
Can't quite make out what that front card is in Kurt. Okay, well the mystery's up then, because it is Rug
Right.
Delver versus Rug Delver.
Unless Kurt's blue-red Delver, but I think there's a Goyf in his hand. It's more likely to be Rug Delver, but we'll change it if we have to.
So this is our first time seeing these decks today. I'm sure you guys are all intimately familiar with Rug Delver, as it is one of the Tier 1 decks in Legacy.
So Scott had the turn 1 Delver, Kurt had the red blast for it, or the Pyro Blast for it.
Yes.
Which is still a red blast. And but Scott had a turn 2 Delver. This time, Kurt has Lightning Bolt for it. So
Lightning Bolt playing his land, so he doesn't run into a daze, which is very smart. And now he's safe that he should. I feel as though he should fetch that land so he doesn't run into a stifle. You don't want to set yourself back. I believe I see a Wasteland in Scott's hand.
I think there's one in Kurt's hand as well. So there's a Wasteland from Scott. Wastes away the dual land. The volcanic island that Kurt had. And does manage to stick a third Delver.
So there's a Wasteland from Kurt.
Kurt now has 2 Wastelands, I believe. I think they're bookending his hand. He's got one in the front, one in the back.
Okay.
I think that last card was a Wasteland, but he's at least got one.
So Scott's only had one. Well, he only has one land right now. He used the Wasteland to deny Kurt's resources, but now he's going to probably be without any lands. He'll be facing a little bit of trouble, but Kurt can also cast the Tarmogoyf if he wants to, and see if that's going to resolve. But it opens himself into running into a daze or a Force of Will. So we'll see.
Ponder from Kurt.
That's going to resolve.
And he sees Goyf, Force of Will, and Volcanic Island.
Those are all cards that he could definitely use, so I assume, I predict he's going to keep these. He needs the Volcanic Island, he needs Source Red, he's also going to need another mana with that Wasteland. Another Tarmogoyf is going to be able to do some damage, get a clock going, and the Force of Will is going to stop Scott from being able to catch up. gonna blow it up.
And Wasteland your land. Scott now. Armageddoned. But he does have a Delver in play. Delver does not flip.
He is landlocked. Is that another
I
Wasteland?
think it is. Delver gets in for one.
Yeah, might as well. So there's Volcanic Island that we knew about, and his next card's going to be Tarmogoyf. I may have taken the opportunity to brainstorm right away there because it's pretty important for that to resolve. You don't want to waste a Force of Will. You don't want to waste a Force of Will.
Just to protect your
Yeah,
brainstorm.
just to protect your brainstorm, or run it into a daze if he draws a land.
There's that brainstorm.
Does he have that second land or that green source? Yep, it's a trop.
So he keeps. Does he have another blue card to even use with that force?
At the moment in his hand that we can see, no, but
Yeah.
the brainstorm's going to be an end of turn.
Right. He's got to set
So
this up
he-
the right way. I
yeah.
don't even know if he has a blue card available.
Yeah, I think the other
So-
card might just be Tarmogoyf. He may have put Force all the way back down.
Yeah. So I assumed he was going to try to Goyf and then protect it with force, but yeah, bolting the Delver seems fine too. And, he can play Nimble Mongoose. Yep.
Yep.
And
now
that's a fat Mongoose.
that's a 3/3, and now he is permanentless.
Kurt Crane clears the way for his Mongoose.
Kurt's in the driver's seat here because he also has two Tarmogoyfs to back it up as well.
Yeah.
Scott is going to be in a lot of trouble because the clock is going to be fast. Those Tarmogoyfs are at least 3/4s with a creature, an instant, and a land. So probably a 4/5/2 sorcery because of Ponder.
So Scott, no land drop, passes back. Kurt in with the Mongoose. 1, 2, Tarmogoyf. Big Tarmogoyf. I don't know how big, but pretty big. Pretty sizable.
Fairly sure it's a 4/5.
Yeah.
Instant being Lightning Bolt, creature being Delver's Secrets, land being a number of Wastelands, and then Sorcerer being one of the Ponders that was
Yep.
cast this game.
Seems like the most common
In this matchup,
fat Goyf.
typically a 4/5. And there's a third land for Kurt as well.
So, Scott, again, passes a turn with no play. No land, nothing. Scott is getting beat down, has absolutely nothing on board. Not a land, not a thing.
And he can't catch back up. He's got all these blue cards in his hand, spell snares and all this good stuff. But
And he finally draws a land. Kurt plays his second Tarmogoyf just before Scott's draw step there, where he drew that land.
funny thing here is, I'm going to assume, Joey, that Scott is playing some number of Submerges in his deck. And while I can't see one in his hand right now, that's really the only thing that's going to be able to keep him alive, and it's actually going to do a nice job of it. But he's going to need to find some to be able to not die next turn.
I don't think it was in the top three. I think I saw
I didn't see it in the top 3.
Misty Red Blast. Is that what it looks like to you?
Yeah, it's
two,
a red,
the two
red
different
blast.
Red Blast.
Yeah, Red Blast, Pyroblast, and a Misty Rainforest.
I call them both
And
Red
he
Blast.
brainstorms
Yeah.
all the cards back to his deck. Why
Yeah,
put
that-
3 when I can put all 9 back? And you got it, Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt Crane keeping his opponent completely locked out of the game with